I think all of you have not joined today yet. So students, day before yesterday, we had started a new subject of auditing and assurance. And I am pretty much sure that you must have got some basic idea of what auditing is all about. What is its meaning? What is its nature? What broadly does an auditor do? What is its scope? What is its outreach? So these broad things, not all things, but some of the things might have got clear to you. You might have understood some of them. So guys, to recapitulate, we understood in our last class that basic purpose of auditor is to obtain a reasonable assurance to see that financial statements are free from material misstatements. For what? To enable him to express an opinion. Okay, so the final outcome of an audit is expression of an opinion by means of an audit report. Okay, so that is the meaning objective of audit, and towards this end, auditor performs all the audit procedures. He obtains the audit evidence and he evaluates, and there are so many things which you shall be learning in the coming days. Okay guys, so I had also told you day before yesterday about standards. So what are standards? So standards, we had learned that these deal with generally with the responsibilities of auditor, that how to perform audit. So we shall uh, discuss a little bit about the standards. So students, एक body है इंटरनेशनल फेडरेशन ऑफ अकाउंटेंट्स. दिस इज एन इंटरनेशनल बॉडी. सो इसका पर्पस क्या है? इट्स पर्पस इज to issue to ensure harmonization of standards globally, to ensure uniformity. इसी की एक IFAC की एक बॉडी है, इंटरनेशनल ऑडिटिंग एंड एश्योरेंस स्टैंडर्ड बोर्ड, and its counterpart in India is Auditing and Assurance Standards Board. So in India, Auditing and Assurance Standards Board of ICI, it issues standards. So चार टाइप के स्टूडेंट स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं. Standards on auditing, standards on review engagement, standards on assurance engagement, and standards on related services. Okay, so as far as intermediate level is concerned, जहां तक आपके सिलेबस की बात है, you would be only studying in detail about these standards on auditing. जहां तक ये तीन कैटेगरीज की बात है, इसके बारे में सिर्फ हमें इतना ही समझना है इंटरमीडिएट के हिसाब से कि ये स्टैंडर्ड्स क्या हैं और इनका मतलब क्या है, एंड हाउ डू दीज डिफर फ्रॉम स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग. इनकी डिटेल ये स्टैंडर्ड्स आपके सिलेबस में इंटरमीडिएट लेवल पे नहीं है. सिर्फ इतना है कि स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन रिव्यू एंगेजमेंट क्या होते हैं, स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन एश्योरेंस एंगेजमेंट क्या होते हैं, और रिलेटेड सर्विसेज क्या होते हैं. लेकिन स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग सर्विसेज ये आपके सिलेबस में डिटेल्ड हैं. इनफैक्ट आई टोल्ड यू गाइस कि जितने भी चैप्टर मोस्टली आपके मॉड्यूल में है, मॉड्यूल 1 में है, और कुछ might be spilling into 2, ये चैप्टर्स जो हैं आपके मॉड्यूल्स में, दीज आर लार्जली बेस्ड अपॉन स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग। ओके, जैसे चैप्टर 1 इज substantially based upon SA 200, which is the first standard on auditing. ओके, इसी तरीके से चैप्टर 2 इज बेस्ड अपॉन SA 300, प्लानिंग इन एन ऑडिट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट। चैप्टर 3 is based upon SA 500, audit evidence, and a few other standards. And chapter 4 is based upon largely based upon SA 315. Okay, so स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग आपको समझना है कि स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग क्या है। डिटेलिंग इसकी हर एक चैप्टर वाइज आती जाएगी, और आपको समझना है कि ब्रॉडली स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन रिव्यू एंगेजमेंट क्या है, एश्योरेंस एंगेजमेंट क्या है, रिलेटेड सर्विस क्या है, इनका आपस में क्या क्या डिफरेंस है, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन ऑल दीज। ओके, so Darshan, see, you are asking what is the meaning of accounting system and internal control. I had also explained in previous session, Darshan, accounting system, how accounts are being prepared, what is the system, कौन सा software है, tally है, ERP है, what is the system by which accounts are prepared, how entries are passed, how what is the system of keeping books of accounts, you can say. Okay, और जहां तक इंटरनल कंट्रोल का है, इंटरनल कंट्रोल यू वुड बी स्टडिंग इन डिटेल इन चैप्टर 4. At this stage you can understand that internal control is a system of checks and balance which is devised by the management to run its business. Okay, look, if the company, if the organization doesn't have its own internal house system to conduct its business, so how it is going to conduct the things, how it would be ensure that customer commitments are being kept on time, that how it would ensure that there are no frauds happening, how it would ensure that financial information being captured is proper and financial statements prepared are reliable. So thus the internal system of the management which deals with all these aspects is broadly known as internal control, and internal control system is the responsibility of the management of the company to devise a system, to implement it, and to run it in such a way that financial information produced by the system is reliable and not misleading. Okay. Yes, Aslam, these things I'll tell you. How to remember I'll tell you. So you understand, guys? So first of all, we come to standards on auditing. Okay. So standards on auditing. And let us also take along with this standards on review engagements. क्या difference है दोनों में? Standards on review engagements. Standards on auditing, students, apply when an audit is conducted. Audit of historical financial information. Audit of historical financial information. Now you would say historical financial information क्या है? Yeah, students, you might have read this term in accountancy also. So accounts are prepared usually on the basis of historical cost of the events or transactions which have occurred in the past. Okay, so like when a company, when an organization records a transaction, the event has happened. So it it records that transaction in its books of accounts to capture that event. Like the purchase has already happened, the goods have been received, bill has been received um, in the with the company, and then it goes to the accountant for entering in the books of accounts. So the event has already happened. Similarly, in case of sales, sales have already happened, bill is generated, goods have moved out, then the information is reflected in the books of accounts, and this information is finally reflected in the financial statements. So the financial statements are prepared on historical cost, historical cost basis, on basis of historical financial information. Okay, so when an audit is conducted on the basis of historical financial information, auditing apply. Clear? Standards on auditing apply. Okay, so there are many standards on auditing. I had given you an overview day before yesterday also, like SA 200, SA 300, SA 315, SA 500, SA 550. So you would be reading all these standards as you move through, as your classes progress. Like SA 200, I told you it deals with the objectives of an auditor and how to conduct audit. So it is a basic standards which deal with the objective of independent auditor and conduct of audit in accordance with standards on auditing. So it lays down certain general principles which you have some of you which you have already studied in the last session. Like it also details upon the inherent limitations of audit. So what are the limitations in the audit procedures itself? What are the limitations in the nature of audit? Okay, so what general things have to be kept in mind by the auditor while conducting audit of financial statements? What are the broad principles in this regard? Some of things you have already studied, some of these we will be studying today and day after tomorrow. Okay, similarly SA 300 it deals with planning and audit of financial statements, कि जब आपको audit start करना है तो उसकी plan कैसे करना है, what is the meaning of audit strategy, audit plan, all these things you will be learning. Similarly, SA 500 is about audit evidence. Okay, so SA 315 is about risk assessment, identifying and assessing risks. Okay, audit risk के बारे में we had discussed a little bit in last class. So SA 315 in SA 315 we shall be studying it in quite detail कि audit risk के क्या क्या different components हैं and how audit risk is affected by these components, what are the responsibilities of auditor in this regard. Okay, like SA 550 is in respect of external confirmations, like आपको बैलेंस पार्टीज के कंफर्म करने हैं, ट्रेड रिसीवेबल्स के, पेबल्स के, what are the procedures to be adopted by the auditor in this regard. Okay, what are his responsibilities, how he should proceed. So all these things. So बहुत सारे स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं जो कि आपको रिमेंबर भी करने हैं, याद भी करने हैं, और ऑडिटर की क्या-क्या उसमें रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हैं, इसको समझना भी है. Yes, Bhumika, you are correct. You are saying if I am doing audit of financial statements with historical financial information, then obviously standards on auditing would apply. That's true. और स्टूडेंट्स we had learned कि ऑडिटिंग क्या है, किस टाइप की एश्योरेंस है? रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस. इट इज ए रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस एंगेजमेंट. इट प्रोवाइड्स ए रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस. तो रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस हमने क्या, नाम तो इसका रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस है, लेकिन है ये हाई लेवल की एश्योरेंस, लेकिन एब्सोल्यूट एश्योरेंस नहीं है, एब्सोल्यूट गारंटी नहीं है. It is not 100% guarantee, but it is a high level of assurance. So reasonable assurance means high level of assurance, but not absolute assurance. Okay, clear? So now we come to standards on review engagements. तो review क्या है? सबसे पहले, unless and until we know कि review क्या है, how we will understand standards on review engagements क्या है. तो रिव्यू के बारे में पहले पता होना जरूरी है. रिव्यू क्या है? सो व्हाट इज रिव्यू? सो रिव्यू इज ए लिमिटेड एश्योरेंस एंगेजमेंट. सो इसका क्या मतलब है? रीजनेबल, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस एंड लिमिटेड एश्योरेंस? सो रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस इज ए हाई लेवल ऑफ एश्योरेंस, बट लिमिटेड एश्योरेंस इज लोअर देन रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस. ओके, सो ये उतना जितना कि सर्कमस्टांसिस में अप्रोप्रिएट है, उतनी ही एश्योरेंस इट प्रोवाइड्स रिव्यू. So review में all procedures which are carried out in audit, these are not carried out. Only some limited procedures are carried out. Okay, that is why it is called as limited assurance engagement. Okay, so like say when an opinion is expressed on the interim financial information. So interim financial information क्या होती है स्टूडेंट्स? Interim means not of the whole, not complete. When the financial information relates to a part of the financial year, like say for a quarter, for 1.5 year. Okay, so then review is undertaken. Then audit is not undertaken, then review is undertaken. So in such cases, standards on review engagements apply. Standards on review engagements apply. Students, आपको सिर्फ इतना ही समझना है इंटरमीडिएट लेवल पे, ज्यादा नहीं समझना. सिर्फ इसका ब्रॉड ओवरव्यू है आपको कि स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन रिव्यू एंगेजमेंट क्या है और स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग क्या है. डिटेल में इंटरमीडिएट लेवल पे आपके सिलेबस में नहीं है. ओके, यस कृष्णा, यू आर आस्किंग ऐसे 500 और 550 में क्या होता है? कृष्णा, आई एम टेलिंग यू, आई हैव जस्ट गिवन यू द एग्जांपल. बहुत सारे स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं. ऐसे 500 आपका चैप्टर 3 में आएगा, ऐसे 550 भी चैप्टर 3 में आएगा. पूरा चैप्टर है 100 पेज का इन स्टैंडर्ड्स के ऊपर. तो आप इतना समझ लीजिए कि फिलहाल की ये एक स्टैंडर्ड ऑन ऑडिटिंग है. ऐसे 500 ऑडिट एविडेंस से डील करता है कि हाउ, व्हाट इज द नेचर ऑफ ऑडिट एविडेंस, ऑडिट एविडेंस कितने टाइप्स का होता है, और हाउ ऑडिटर ऑब्टेन्स ऑडिट एविडेंस. ये इन सब बातों से डील करता है. ऐसे 550 जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, इट डील्स विद एक्सटर्नल कंफर्मेशन कि ऑडिटर को डेटर से या क्रेडिटर से कंफर्मेशन लेनी है, तो क्या प्रोसीजर्स द ऑडिटर हैज टू follow, the auditor has to adopt. It deals with those responsibilities. Okay. Ustad Singh, you are asking what is audit pronouncement book? Audit pronouncement book is nothing but the book in which all these standards are contained. Text of all these standards are contained. So it is for your reference only. You just go through module. अगर आपने module कर लिया आपके लिए बहुत है. प्रोनाउंसमेंट बुक इज देयर फॉर योर रेफरेंस ओनली. अगर आप देखना चाहते हैं उसको डिटेल में, कोई चीज नहीं समझ में आ रही, कुछ उसको और अपनी नॉलेज बढ़ाना चाहते हैं, तो सो यू कैन रेफर इट फ्रॉम देयर. ओके. सो गाइज, you have understood difference between standards on auditing and standards on review engagement. Clear है आपको? Standards on auditing apply when audit of historical financial information is conducted, and standards on review engagement apply when review of historical financial information is conducted. Okay, so दोनों केस में ऑडिट और रिव्यू में क्या चीज कॉमन है? The common thing is historical financial information. In both there is historical financial information. One audit is conducted, which is the purpose of which is to provide reasonable assurance. In another case, review is conducted, the purpose of which is to apply limited assurance. Okay, and in audit, detailed procedures are undertaken, whereas in review only certain specified limited procedures are undertaken, and opinion is expressed on the basis of that. Okay. Clear? Yes, Bhumika, you can say like that. Clear, students? Now the third category, the third standards. These are standards on assurance engagements. Standards on assurance engagements. तो ये क्या है? Now you will say what are these? ये भी डिटेलिंग स्टूडेंट्स आपके सिलेबस में नहीं है. आपको सिर्फ इतना समझना है कि ये क्या है, इनका मतलब क्या है. दैट्स ऑल. डिटेलिंग सिर्फ आपकी स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग की है, वो आपको सब याद होने चाहिए. क्या है, किस स्टैंडर्ड में क्या है, क्योंकि क्वेश्चन एग्जाम्स में स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग पे बहुत आते हैं. ओके. नाउ Rajiv Kumar Singh, you are saying, please explain historical financial information. I have already explained. It is so simple a term. Historical नाम से ही पता चल रहा है. Historical financial information. आपने जब financial information when it relates to events which have occurred in past, जो कि events हो चुके हैं, उसकी बुक्स में ट्रांजैक्शन की एंट्री हो रही है, वो फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन रिफ्लेक्ट हो रही है. दैट इज हिस्टोरिकल फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन. लाइक आई हैव परचेज्ड ए फिक्स्ड एसेट, और से आई हैव कंस्ट्रक्टेड ए बिल्डिंग, आई हैव बॉट ए मशीनरी. सो द ट्रांजैक्शन हैज टेकन प्लेस. Okay, so my financial statements would be dealing with the transactions which have already taken place during the year. So I would say that my financial statements are based upon historical financial information. Okay. जयदेव सिंह SA 700 में है कि ऑडिट को अपना ओपिनियन कैसे देना है. ओके. आरती रावल, प्लीज प्रोवाइड नोट्स. नोट्स तो स्टूडेंट्स आपको पहले रिमेंबर करना पड़ेगा. रेडीमेड नोट्स पे आप अगर सोचेंगे रेडीमेड नोट्स कर लें और उसको 2-4 पेज क्रैम करके चल जाएं, आई एम सॉरी टू से आरती, एग्जाम में भी यू वुड बी स्कोरिंग 10-15 मार्क्स आउट ऑफ 100. नोट्स वाला अनलेस एंड अनटिल फर्स्ट यू गो थ्रू द होल सब्जेक्ट, आपको अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, उसके बाद नोट्स तो ऑटोमेटिकली प्रिपेयर्ड है आपके माइंड में, कुछ शॉर्ट पॉइंट्स हैं दैट यू कैन जॉट डाउन. ओके, सो स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन एश्योरेंस एंगेजमेंट. स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन एश्योरेंस एंगेजमेंट क्या है? These deal with the assurance engagements where historical financial information is not involved. Where historical financial information is not involved. Is not involved. तो आप कहेंगे कि ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? हिस्टोरिकल फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन तो होती है, अकाउंट्स तो हिस्टोरिकल फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन पे ही है. ऑडिटर तो अपना ओपिनियन बैलेंस शीट पे ही देता है, वो तो इवेंट्स जो हो चुके हैं उसके ऊपर भी देता है. और कौन सी इंफॉर्मेशन हो सकती है? जयदेव सिंह ओपिनियन क्या? ओपिनियन वो ऑडिट रिपोर्ट में क्या लिखेगा? whatever the opinion he has formed, जो उसने प्रोसीजर्स अडॉप्ट किए उसी के बेस पे तो उसका ओपिनियन बनेगा कि वो उसको कंपनी को क्लीन चिट देना चाहता है या कुछ एडवर्स लिखना चाहता है. इसी को ओपिनियन कहते हैं. इज दैट क्लियर टू यू जयदेव? सो व्हेन हिस्टोरिकल फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन इज नॉट इन्वॉल्व, तो वो क्या चीज होती है? वो होती है व्हेन प्रोस्पेक्टिव इंफॉर्मेशन इज इन्वॉल्व. प्रोस्पेक्टिव फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन. तो प्रोस्पेक्टिव क्या है? व्हाट इज प्रोस्पेक्टिव? प्रोस्पेक्टिव मींस prospective. What is the meaning of prospective? Prospective means happening in future. Like कि फ्यूचर में कंपनी की क्या सेल्स होंगी, फ्यूचर में कंपनी की क्या प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी है, फ्यूचर में कंपनी का कैश फ्लो कैसे रहेगा. तो आप कहेंगे इसमें ऑडिटर ओपिनियन क्या एक्सप्रेस कर पाएगा? वो तो फ्यूचर में होना है. हाउ ही वुड नो, हाउ द चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट वुड नो. तो इस केस में वो द practitioner, the chartered accountant, he would check the assumptions which have been made in preparation of such prospective financial statements. Okay, कि आपने सेल्स का कंपनी ने दिया कि हमारा 100 करोड़ होगी, तो 100 करोड़ के पीछे उसका क्या assumptions हैं, how the figures have been arrived at, या they have given that we would achieve so much of profit, then how they are going to achieve it. उन assumptions की reasonability क्या है, उनकी reasonableness क्या है. So when an opinion is expressed, when assurance is provided, when an opinion is expressed for information which is not historical information, other than historical information, which you can say is prospective financial information, then standards on assurance engagements apply. So clear है students? Yes, Kartika, I am trying to maintain a balance between English and Hindi. No, Muhammad Aslam, what you are saying, guys? थोड़ा सा reasonable question पूछा करो भैया. You are saying, can you sign after CA Inter? No, you have no signing power. कुछ नहीं है आपके हाथ में. When you will qualify CA final, when you have qualified your CA final exam, only then you can apply to become member of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So when you become member of ICAI and you have a certificate of practice, you have to apply for a certificate of practice, only then you can sign. Okay. Yes. Hira, it is correct. Historical financial information is common in both standards on auditing and standards on review. So the page number is 1.20. Deepak Kumar is asking at which page the material you are teaching is. It is at 1.20 and onwards. Then 1.20, 1.21, 22 and 23. Okay. Yes, Muhammad, auditor and CA, yes, because audit has to be conducted by a chartered accountant. Audit has to be conducted by a chartered accountant, except in some special cases where uh, uh, power is given to cost auditors also. Okay. Yes, Sudhanshu Kumar, prospective, you are now right. सो एक बार स्टूडेंट्स जल्दी जल्दी हम तीनों को दोबारा से रिव्यू कर लेते हैं कि तीनों चीजों में व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस. सो गाइस, हमने तीन चीजें पढ़ी हैं अभी तक. स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग, तो ये किस में अप्लाई होते हैं? ऑडिट ऑफ, व्हेन ऑडिट ऑफ हिस्टोरिकल फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन इज अंडरटेकन. When audit of historical financial information is undertaken, or standards on review when review of historical financial information is undertaken. ठीक है. And what is standard on assurance engagement? When assurance is given, assurance is provided for information other than which is, it means which is not historical financial information. ओके, सो क्लियर. इन दोनों में कॉमन चीज क्या है? हिस्टोरिकल फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन इज कॉमन. Standards on auditing also deal with the historical financial information. Standards on review also deal with the historical financial information. But standards on assurance, these deal with information other than historical financial information, like prospective financial information. Okay. Yes, Mohit, you are asking in government department audit is done by CA. You have to understand, Mohit, there are one thing, there are government companies and there are government departments. Say government companies are those companies in which central government or state government holds majority of the shares. So here the auditing is done by CAs. Okay, there are government companies like say Bell and other where government has stake. And as far as government departments are concerned, like income tax department, say like railways, so here the auditing is carried out by Comptroller and Auditor General of India, CAG. Okay. So it is CAG has been mandated by our constitution, by Constitution of India, to carry out audit of all the receipts and expenditure of the government of the Union of India and of states. Okay. So is that clear? Is that clear to you? Yes. Who had asked the question? Mohit Saini. Yes. Mohit, clear to you? तो इन तीनों के बीच में भी स्टूडेंट्स डिफरेंस आपको क्लियर है? स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग, रिव्यू, एश्योरेंस. और ऑडिटिंग और रिव्यू के बीच में क्या है? दिस इज रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस, दिस प्रोवाइड्स लिमिटेड एश्योरेंस. इसमें डिटेल्ड प्रोसीजर्स हैं, इसमें लिमिटेड प्रोसीजर्स हैं. ओके. और एश्योरेंस इज ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट. एश्योरेंस एंगेजमेंट स्टैंडर्ड्स ये प्रोस्पेक्टिव इंफॉर्मेशन से डील करते हैं. एंड वन, और इन तीनों में कॉमन चीज क्या है? व्हाट इज द कॉमन फैक्टर? इन तीनों में कॉमन फैक्टर एक है. आप कहोगे इन दोनों में तो कॉमन है, लेकिन इसमें कुछ नहीं है। एक कॉमन फैक्टर है। आप स्टूडेंट्स बता सकते हैं क्या कॉमन फैक्टर है? कैन एनीबॉडी टेल इन तीनों में कॉमन फैक्टर क्या है? ये स्टूडेंट्स, कैन एनीबॉडी टेल इन तीनों में कॉमन फैक्टर क्या है? ये स्टूडेंट्स, वेटिंग फॉर योर मेल। इन तीनों में कॉमन फैक्टर क्या है? स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग, स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन रिव्यू और स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन एश्योरेंस एंगेजमेंट। व्हाट इज द कॉमन फैक्टर? So guys, I'll give you a challenge. If anybody of you tells common factor, then I will praise that person by taking his name. That he is a person, he is very sharp. Yes, tell me. Yes. Hmm. Malya Bag and Muhammad Aslam. Yes. You have written correct. Darshan C, you have also written correct. So congrats to all of you. Well done. तो ये तीनों चीजों में एक कॉमन चीज है, एश्योरेंस। ऑडिटिंग ऑल्सो प्रोवाइड्स एश्योरेंस, रिव्यू ऑल्सो प्रोवाइड्स एश्योरेंस, एंड स्टैंडर्ड ऑन एश्योरेंस एंगेजमेंट ऑल्सो प्रोवाइड एश्योरेंस। These provide assurance and therefore opinion is expressed by the auditor. इन तीनों में ओपिनियन ऑडिटर एक्सप्रेस करता है, because he is giving assurance, he is giving comfort to the users. So this is the common thing between all these standards on auditing, standards on review and standards on assurance engagement. In तीनों में the auditor provides assurance, he gives an opinion. Okay, और difference क्या है? First two standards on auditing or and review deal with the historical financial information, and assurance engagements deal with the standards on assurance engagement deal with the prospective financial information. Okay, well done, well done. Who have written correctly? Yes, Tushar, if you have also written, Tushar Shazia. I was not able to quickly see if you have also written. Then if anybody who has written assurance or opinion, then it is okay. Then you have hit the right chord. Okay. And now we come to last category of standards, which is standards on related services. Standards on related services. SRS. Yes, Syed, your answers are reaching, bhaiya. You are also saying assurance engagement. Common, sir. Yes, you have also written correctly. Syed Yasir Ahmad. You are from southern region, having SRO number. Yes. So what are the standards on related services? So what are related services? So related services, students, related services है where the auditor does not give assurance. Therefore, he does not give any sort of assurance, and therefore he does not give an opinion. Okay. So what does he do here? He just performs a specified task and issues a report that we have performed this task as per your requirements, and these are the objective facts. Okay, so I'll tell you how. Like related services, like say example of related services is compilation engagement. So what is compilation engagement? Compilation engagement, here the accountant in public practice, the chartered accountant, he would only compile the financial statements. He does not give an opinion. He does not apply all the audit procedures. Okay. So he does not apply the audit procedures. He does not give an opinion. He does not give an assurance कि financial statements आपकी reliable हैं, misleading नहीं है. So the company provides him say the trial balance or the draft financial statements, and he compiles those financial statements. Okay, so this is example of where standards on related services apply. Okay, like another example could be say when auditor is asked to carry out verification of receivables, say trade receivables only. कंपनी उसको कहती है कि आप सिर्फ हमारे ट्रेड रिसीवेबल्स वेरीफाई कर दीजिए जो बैलेंस शीट में आ रहे हैं, और कुछ नहीं हमें चाहिए, या हमारे खाली ट्रेड पेबल्स वेरीफाई कर दीजिए. सो इट इज ए स्पेसिफिक असाइनमेंट, specific task which the auditor is going to perform if he chooses to accept it. So here the standards on related services apply. Okay, Alvin, yes, who will sign? The chartered accountant will sign. He will give a report, but the report will not give opinion. He will give his report, but the report will not give an opinion. Neither report will give an assurance. It will not give an opinion of providing comfort. It would only say that we have carried out, say, we have carried out verification of receivables, and as per your this letter, and these are, we have found this much, like these are tallied with your books of accounts, we called for so many confirmations, and these are reconciled with your books of accounts. But he would not say that your books of accounts give a true and fair opinion. It would not say that your receivables are properly valued. It does not, it would not mean to state so. He would give a report, okay, but he would not provide any sort of assurance. Okay. No, Mohammad Aslam, internal auditor, will take the task of receivables. That is, you do not confuse it with the internal auditor. That is the job of the management. वो तो मैनेजमेंट खुद भी पार्टियों से स्टेटमेंट मंगवा के और उनके अकाउंट से रिकंसाइल करा सकती है. It is the because to see that all the balances are properly valued, properly reflected in books of accounts. It is the job of the management. Okay. So Mohit Saini, you are asking what type of audit is this? What you are asking? What type of audit? You are asking about related services. No, this is first thing you have to understand. This is not an audit. Related services are not an audit. Related services are in the nature of services. These are not an audit. Audit में तो ऑडिटर को एश्योरेंस प्रोवाइड करनी ही है. ओके. Is that clear? Is that clear to you guys? So we have done all the four things, and Also, I have tried to explain the difference between these terms. Okay, and besides these, there are also two more terms which I would like to discuss. One term is guidance notes, and another term is statements. स्टूडेंट्स, इनमें आपको ज्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जाना है, आपको इंटरमीडिएट लेवल में सिर्फ इसका मतलब समझना है, दैट्स ऑल। जस्ट बेसिक थिंग कि ये है क्या, और कुछ नहीं है आपके सिलेबस में इससे ज्यादा। इसलिए इसमें ज्यादा आप प्लीज कंफ्यूज मत हो। ओके, आयुष द्विवेदी, यू आर आस्किंग what is the main importance of SRS? So when some some services, some related services performed by the practitioner, by the auditor, which is not in the nature of audit, or which is not in the nature of review, or which does not relate to prospective financial information. So even in those type of services also, the auditor, the practitioner, he has to follow certain things. He has got certain responsibilities. He is tied up somewhere. So that is the importance of standards on related services. So when an auditor accepts, when a practitioner accepts the assignment to do such kind of services, and he has to issue a report, but where he does not express an opinion, where he does not provide any assurance, then these standards apply. You have to learn this much, understand this much, nothing more than that. Okay. No prospective financial information generated by management accounting process. It depends. Generally, it would have to be prepared by taking a lot of exemptions and all that. And who is this? Abhinatha, you are sending mails of I think you have pushed the button too much, and my mailbox is full. So only your mail running all the way. Please take care. Abhinatha, something wrong you have pressed. Mohit Sani, you are asking why auditor perform related services? Because the client needs it. Say the client needs it to prepare a balance sheet for him. It is a need of the client. He doesn't know how to compile the balance sheet. He has given you trial balance or draft preliminary information, and he asks the auditor to prepare the balance sheet and to give a report that we have compiled this balance sheet. Okay. So here also some care, some standards, some procedures have to be taken care of. Yes, you can say so, Darshan, in part. MCQ will be coming towards the end of the session, Muhammad Aslam. So another thing is guidance notes and statements. So what are guidance notes? So the institute ICAI also issues guidance notes on certain matters. Now guidance notes, जैसे कि आपको नाम से ही लग रहा है, गाइडेंस, जिसका पर्पज है कि गाइड करना मेंबर्स को. से देयर आर सम ticklish issues where members want some guidance from institute. So The institute issues guidance notes detailing all those aspects. Now these guidance notes might relate to accounting aspects or auditing aspects. It can relate to like the ICA has issued guidance note on audit of banks. So there is guidance note uh, on a report on under the Companies Act CARO 2020. Okay, so you will be studying about this. Yes, Keshav, the schedule is not showing the class because of some changes they are making in it. So it would be updated. I have already raised the flag with them. But you rest assured that auditing class is going to take place on every Saturday, every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. The schedule would be updated. I have already raised the issue. Okay. So guidance notes are recommendatory in nature. So the members are required to follow them, and these are for their guidance. If they to make them understand the things better, to guide them. Okay, so the but basic nature is they are recommendatory in nature. Okay, so लेकिन वो recommendatory भी हैं तो भी the auditor shall try to follow this, and if he has not been able to follow guidance notes, then he has to state why it is so, what is the reasons for specific departure. And statements are mandatory in nature. These are issued on some also on some specific aspects which may be accounting or auditing. Okay, so you have to understand only this much, that these are mandatory, these are recommendatory, and these are issued on both the aspects, accounting and auditing. Statements is a nomenclature. Statement means some statement on something, on some issue. So there is some accounting issue, and say the ICI issue statement on that this has to be followed, that this has to be dealt with it in such a manner. Okay. Yes, Sayyid, I'll tell you the answers at the end of this session. So clear, guys? Is that clear? So we'll quickly uh, go through the module to see. Yes, guys, the module is visible to you. Yes, tell me. The module is visible to you, guys. Yes, students, drop your mails. The module is visible to you. Waiting for your mail, students. Yes, Bhumika, Tushar, please inform if the module is visible to you. Yes, visible. So standard setting process, guys, we had learnt about this IFAC, International Federation of Accountants, and under the auspices of which there is a body, International Auditing and Assurance Standards Board. Okay. सो क्या पर्पस है आईएएसबी का? क्या पर्पस है? एस्टेब्लिशिंग हाई क्वालिटी ऑडिटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स। वन पर्पस इज हाई क्वालिटी ऑडिटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स फॉर फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स ऑडिट्स। ये तो हो गए आपके जो काउंटर पार्ट है इंडिया में, स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग। इंडिया में काउंटर पार्ट क्या है? स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग। इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे जो आईएएसबी ने बनाया है वो आईएसए है, इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग। सो इंडिया में है स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग। ओके, एंड एस्टेब्लिशिंग हाई क्वालिटी स्टैंडर्ड्स फॉर गाइडिंग assurance services on both financial and non-financial matters review, like prospective financial information, establishing high quality standards and guidance for other related services। ये तो हमने समझ लिया। और स्टूडेंट्स एक बात आपको और समझनी है, इसके अलावा एक स्टैंडर्ड्स होते हैं जिसको कहते हैं क्वालिटी कंट्रोल स्टैंडर्ड्स। तो वो है क्वालिटी कंट्रोल स्टैंडर्ड्स, उनको कहते हैं स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन क्वालिटी कंट्रोल। इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा हम चैप्टर 1 में पढ़ेंगे, SQC1 स्टैंडर्ड ऑन क्वालिटी कंट्रोल। तो स्टैंडर्ड ऑन क्वालिटी कंट्रोल जो है कि जो ऑडिट करना है या रिव्यू करना है या अपने प्रोस्पेक्टिव फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन पे ओपिनियन देना है, तो उसमें क्वालिटी और आपको उस असाइनमेंट की मेंटेन करनी पड़ेगी। दैट यू हैव टू डू द क्वालिटेटिव वर्क। तो क्वालिटी मेंटेन करने के लिए किन किन चीजों का आपको ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा, व्हाट प्रोसीजर्स यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड। सो उसके लिए क्वालिटी कंट्रोल स्टैंडर्ड है SQC1। देयर इज ए स्टैंडर्ड SQC1, स्टैंडर्ड ऑन क्वालिटी कंट्रोल। और स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन, और जब रिलेटेड सर्विसेज भी देनी है तो भी उसके लिए क्वालिटी उसमें भी मेंटेन रखनी है। सो क्वालिटी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। सो इवन नाउ डेज ऑफ there is very great emphasis by ICI on maintaining quality, and due to many regulatory issues and all that. So you have to understand that standard on quality control SQC1, these applies to all types of engagements. These applies to auditing engagements also, these applies to review engagements also, these applies to assurance engagements dealing with prospective financial information, and these applies to related services also. Okay, and all these things combined, standards on related services, standards on review engagement, standards on auditing, and standards on assurance engagement, these are collectively known as engagement standards। engagement standards collectively इनको कहते हैं हम engagement standards हैं। engagement का क्या मतलब है स्टूडेंट्स? एक और चीज मैं आपको इसमें बताना चाहूंगा, engagement क्यों कहते हैं? Say when I am a CA and I have been engaged by a client to do some service. Auditing is also a service, review is also a service. When I perform assignment on the behalf of client for prospective financial information, that is also a service. In all these three services, I would be expressing an opinion. And when I would be providing some other services, related services, then although I am not expressing an opinion, but I have been engaged. Okay, so these all are known as engagement standards. So one more important thing you have to remember, that SQC1, standard on quality control, applies to all engagement standards. It applies to all engagement standards, guys. That is very important, बहुत important है। इस पे क्वेश्चन आ भी सकता है आपको। ओके, so these are the main functions of IASP. ASB we have seen, and this is only of academic interest. And now four things. Essays, four type के standards हैं, essays, SREs, SAEs and SRS. Okay, yes, Bhumika, you are correct. Yes, Love Vyas, you are asking, sir, involvement is engagement. Yes, engagement means that there is a formal agreement between me and client. कोई कंपनी है वो मेरे को ऑडिटिंग करने के लिए बोलती है, तो देयर इज ए फॉर्मल एग्रीमेंट बिटवीन द कंपनी एंड मी. Okay, the company first of all will offer me, and I will see if the offer is acceptable to me. Okay, and then a letter would be issued, okay, to the client that this is acceptable to me. Okay, so there is a in engagement there is a formal agreement. Okay, there is a understanding, there is a formal agreement that I agree to provide these services. सिंपल आप समझिए, जब कोई क्लाइंट कोई लॉयर को हायर करता है, से आप और सिंपल एग्जांपल में समझिए, तो ही इज एंगेजिंग दैट लॉयर, ही इज एंगेजिंग दैट लॉयर टू present his case on the behalf of client. He is the lawyer, he is providing legal services. Similarly, the auditor, you can say he is providing auditing services to the client. Okay. So Darshan, you are asking what is a test function? A test function, Darshan, means when the auditor signs, he performs in the language of auditing, we call it as a test function. When you would sign, when you would become a chartered accountant, you would become member of ICI and get CP, certificate of practice, then you would have the power to sign the financial statements. Okay, then when you will sign, it is called as a test function in the language of auditing. Yes, Mohammed, why not? There are fees for engagement. Auditor मुफ्त में तो काम नहीं करेगा, मोहम्मद. Engagement, obviously for every engagement there is a consideration, there is a fees. He is rendering professional services. Tushar, that depends upon the relevant laws and regulations applicable in that country. Okay. Mohammed, you are asking engagements are services for CA? No, engagement is not a service per se. Engagement is an agreement under which services are provided. You can understand it that way. Okay. So company X has engaged Mr. Say, Mr. Myself, the company X has engaged Mr. Ashish Bahel to provide, to conduct audit of their company. Okay. So this is an engagement. First they would offer me, I would accept it. So this is an engagement to provide services, formal agreement. So standards on auditing, these apply in the audit of historical financial information. Clear? Standards on review engagement apply in review of historical financial information. And standards on assurance engagement deal with subject matters other than historical financial information, which is prospective financial information. And standard on related services deal with the related services like agreed upon procedures or compilation engagements. Agreed upon procedures like to verify trade receivables and compilation engagements. Here no assurance is given. इनमें और इसमें क्या डिफरेंस है? कोई एश्योरेंस नहीं है इसमें, नो एश्योरेंस. और जबकि इन तीनों में एश्योरेंस इज देयर. So these are assurance engagements and this is not a assurance engagement. Okay. Clear guys? तो इसके बारे में उसके बाद that essays apply in audit of historical financial information and review engage standards on review engagements apply in review of historical information. Okay, so audit of historical information is a reasonable assurance engagement and review engagement is a apply in review which is a limited assurance engagement. Okay. No, Vadi Raju, Surya Teja, it is the second class. Guys, you have missed, some of you have missed first class. That was the basic striking at fundamentals. So go to see the recorded lecture on your recorded lecture, which was there on 11th of March. So historical financial information क्या है वो हम पहले ही कर चुके हैं guys. Standards on auditing have been issued on various fields, like I have told you. जैसे ऐसे 200 है, डिफरेंट चीजें हैं. जैसे जैसे आप कोर्स आगे चलेगा, यू वुड लर्न ऑल द स्टैंडर्ड्स. ओके, so this we have already done, and this is guidance notes and statements. This we have also touched. Now we will come to first to this topic of ethical requirements relating to an audit of financial statements. The topics which have been left in between, these would be covered in day after tomorrow. First we'll be taking this topic, ethical requirements relating to an audit of financial statements. It is at page 1.27 of your module. Sudhanshu, limited assurance engagement, I have explained, I think today at least 6 times, 6 or 7 times. Page 1.27 of the module. So guys, what is meant by ethics? Yes, students, can you tell what is meant by ethics? क्या होते हैं स्टूडेंट्स एथिक्स? Ethics are principles of conduct. Principles of conduct governing an individual. These are principles of conduct governing an individual or group. Governing an individual or group. So students, आपने एथिक्स के बारे में जरूर ये वर्ड तो सुना ही है. और yes, unwritten law, very good, Kiran Shukla. Loyal, disciplinary codes, yes, it is correct. Ethics are like rules, principles which even I would say in business also there are ethics. अगर आप किसी की कमिटमेंट टाइम पे पूरी नहीं करोगे तो आपका बिजनेस कैसे चलेगा? एक बार, 2 बार, 3 बार आप उसको कोई बहाना लगा दोगे, लेकिन अल्टीमेटली तो आपका बिजनेस ऐसे नहीं चल पाएगा. ओके, तो एथिक्स आर देयर इन बिजनेस ऑल्सो. और प्रोफेशंस में तो बहुत ज्यादा उसकी जरूरत होती है. इन एवरी प्रोफेशन देयर आर एथिक्स. लाइक फॉर डॉक्टर्स देयर आर एथिक्स, फॉर लॉयर्स देयर आर एथिक्स. तो डॉक्टर्स स्टूडेंट्स जब वो क्वालिफाई करते हैं तो आपको शायद पता होगा, दे टेक ए They take an oath, which is called this Hippocratic oath, to serve their patients. Okay. So then why auditing profession में भी ethics है? My question to you is, tell me, is there need of greater ethics in the profession of auditing, in the profession of accountancy than other professions? Yes or no? First tell me yes or no. We do not take this oath. This is about doctors. This was only to explain to you, to make you the things understand. It was only an example. So yes, all of you are saying that importance of ethics is greater in the profession of auditing. It is greater in profession of auditing. Now tell me another, my next question to you is, what is the reason? What is the reason that there is greater need of ethics? That there is greater need of ethics in profession of auditing? In auditing profession. Tell me why. Can you tell the reason? Why it is so? Yes, interesting. Tushar, we are doctors of finance. Yes, Tushar, you can say so, but you cannot write in the paper. Okay. आपका स्पिरिट ठीक है, मतलब ठीक है. Yes, to provide quality financial services. Yes, Darshan, correct. Trust, Kiran Chula. Yes, it is also correct. What about others? Yes, fraudulent activities will affect the company. It has a larger scope. Yes, professional, unbiased opinion. Yes, companies trust on you, independent opinion. All of you are largely correct. So guys, why is the need, greater need of ethics in auditing profession? Because it deals with financial matters. And when a chartered accountant, when an auditor signs the financial statements of an entity, of a company, then a great sanctity is attached to those signatures. There is enormous responsibility upon the shoulders of auditor who is signing the balance sheet, who is signing the financial statements. Because why? Because it would be used by wide range of stakeholders, wide range of users. The users would rely upon the financial statements, which are in which opinion is given by the auditor. Okay, like bankers, like government authorities, like tax authorities, like third parties, like investors. Okay, so therefore there is greater need of ethics. Okay, to to see that there are no fraudulent certifications, to see that there are no wrongdoings, that there are no wrong or misleading statements are signed, that no misleading reports are given. Okay, so that is why there is much greater need, manifold greater need of ethics in the profession of auditing than in any other profession. So you understand how important this concept of ethics is. So even in present syllabus, you are name of the paper in CA final is Auditing and Professional Ethics. The name of the paper in fact includes professional ethics. So here, there in when you would reach the finals, you would study all the ethics, all the provisions, in Chartered Accountants Act 1949, which are there to be followed by chartered accountants, by the chartered accountants who are in practice, and not only those who are in practice but also those who are members and are in industry. Okay, so guys, now you have understood the importance of ethics. Now you understand that there is a body under IFAC, International Federation of Accountants. There is a body under IFAC which goes by the name of IESBA. It stands for International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants. IESBA. Okay. So we'll take a break of after some time. Ira, after few minutes we'll take a break. So there is a body, IESBA, International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants. Okay. So according to this body, there are 5 fundamental principles. Now guys, you have to remember these 5 fundamental principles. These are very important, and many times questions have come in the exam, and these would continue to come because due to the importance of ethics. Okay, so there are 5 fundamental principles of professional ethics. Now we will understand all these 5 principles one by one. Okay, first we shall understand all these 5 principles one by one, guys. Interesting principles and simple things you have to understand and remember their names and the meaning. Okay, so 5 fundamental principles of professional ethics. As per IESBA code, of. So what are those 5 fundamental principles? First, I am going to write their names and then I would explain. One is integrity, then is objectivity, third is professional competence and due care. Professional competence and due care. Fourth is confidentiality. And fifth is professional behavior. ठीक है, तो आपको इन पांचों के नाम भी याद करने हैं और इनका मतलब क्या है वो भी समझना है और उसको रिमेंबर भी करना है. So Mohammed, I am also covering simultaneously your question की क्या रिमेंबर करना है, कैसे रिमेंबर करना है वो you have to again and again keep it repeating in your mind, तभी रिमेंबर होगा. इसके बारे में स्टूडेंट्स कोई वो देयर आर नो टू ओपिनियंस कि you can चेंज योर टर्म्स। अगर इंटीग्रिटी है तो आपको इंटीग्रिटी ही लिखना है, अकाउंटेबिलिटी नहीं लिखना। अगर ऑब्जेक्टिविटी है तो एक ऑब्जेक्टिविटी ही लिखना है। प्रोफेशनल कॉम्पिटेंस एंड ड्यू केयर है तो यही लिखना है, इसके अलावा और कोई वर्ड नहीं है। आपको एग्जाम में क्रेडिट नहीं मिलेगा अगर आप कोई और वर्ड लिख के आएंगे तो। ओके, जो ये प्रिंसिपल्स हैं एज इट इज ही लिखने हैं। इज दैट क्लियर टू यू मोहम्मद? सो व्हाट इज इंटेग्रिटी? इंटेग्रिटी क्या है स्टूडेंट्स? जनरल पहले आप समझिए, फिर हम मॉड्यूल से आपकी डेफिनेशन को देखेंगे। व्हाट इज इंटेग्रिटी? जब आप से वी से इंटेग्रिटी, जनरली यू कैन से दैट a person who is honest, who deals fairly, who is truthful in his dealings. Like when I say that officer is of unimpeachable integrity, वो मतलब कि वो एक अच्छा ऑफिसर है, उसकी इंटेग्रिटी, ही इज वेरी ऑनेस्ट, he is straightforward, he is trustworthy, he is honest in dealings, he would not sign anything wrong. Like integrity also means that the auditor would not associate his name with anything that is untrue, that is false, that is misleading, or he would not sign um, uh, he would not sign any statement or report in which there are some omissions which would make the report misleading, कि कुछ चीज उसमें छुपी हुई है, वो अगर होती तो रिपोर्ट ठीक होती, लेकिन वो जाहिर ही नहीं की गई, इसलिए वो मिसलीडिंग बन गई। सो ही वुड नॉट एसोसिएट विद ऑल दीज थिंग्स। सो दिस इज द मीनिंग ऑफ इंटेग्रिटी। समझ आ गया स्टूडेंट्स? व्हाट इज इंटेग्रिटी? टू बी ऑनेस्ट, टू बी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड इन डीलिंग्स, ट्रूथफुल, ओके, not to be associated with false statements, with false reports, okay, which the information he knows it to be false, okay, or some information he gets associated with some reports in which there are material omissions which would make that statement or report misleading, okay. So this is known as integrity. Yes, strong moral, Tushar, you can say. But so students, आपको when you would learn the definition of integrity from module, तो आपको जो उसमें लिखा है वो चीजें आपको दिमाग में बिठा लेनी है. You have to remember those things in your mind, because in the exams question might be application oriented. उसमें आपको suppose 2-3 lines दे दी गई और उसमें you are being asked कि which principle of professional ethics is violated. वो इंटेग्रिटी है, ऑब्जेक्टिविटी है, क्या है? ओके, सो आपको पांचों के नाम याद रखने हैं, डिस्टिंक्शन समझनी है, दोनों में क्या फर्क है, इंटेग्रिटी में क्या फर्क है, और नाउ वी कम टू ऑब्जेक्टिविटी. व्हाट इज ऑब्जेक्टिविटी? नो, ऑब्जेक्टिविटी मींस टू टेक द डिसीजंस without being influenced by others, without being influenced. What are the facts? What are the objective facts before me? Facts क्या कहती हैं? What are the objective criteria जिसके बारे में मैं डिसीजन ले सकता हूं लॉजिकली, साइंटिफिकली, ओके. So I would take a decision based upon those objective criteria without being any sort of bias, without any conflict of interest, without external influences, external pulls and pressures, कि कोई somebody is pulling me, ऐसे नहीं, ऐसे कर दो, इस टाइप की रिपोर्ट दे दो. No, I would give a report based upon objective criteria without being influenced by external influences. Okay, so this is objectivity. Clear guys? Integrity, objectivity clear हो गया. Third thing is professional competence and due care. Okay, so what is professional competence and due care? Professional competence and due care is to uh, to deal with the client by giving him proper professional advice and do all the work with professional expertise and knowledge. ठीक है, से अगर आपको नॉलेज ही नहीं है तो आप ऑडिट कैसे करोगे? अगर आपको नॉलेज ही नहीं है, यू हैव टू बी प्रोफेशनल कॉम्पिटेंट, यू हैव टू बी वेल कन्वर्स्ड विद all the changes, all the updations, and you have to do the work diligently. Diligently means carefully. Diligently means carefully, by analyzing all the things carefully. ये नहीं कि report something you are signing, you would uh, just sign without applying your mind, without analyzing the surrounding circumstances. Okay, you have to take due care, you have to do the work diligently. Okay, and next thing is confidentiality. Now what is confidentiality? Confidentiality means that you will maintain confidentiality of the dealings, of transactions of the clients which have come to your notice, because you are the auditor. Say you are the auditor of a company, say the company is engaged in export business, okay, and you come to know the names of certain overseas buyers, okay, and you share those information with the with some another person, with the competitor of your client, you share, okay, so that would be unethical. You have to maintain confidentiality of the financial information, okay. And professional behavior, last is professional behavior. So what is professional behavior? Professional behavior means that you would conduct your dealing in such a way that it does not bring disrepute to the profession as a whole. Like, guys, you have to understand that auditing profession, CA profession, is a noble profession. We have got some standing in the society, okay. So we will not do anything which would bring disrepute to the profession. Say if somebody goes to a department and he fights there, okay, he abuses there, then this is not a professional behavior, because it would bring disrepute to the profession. Generally, he would say, yeah, he was auditor of this company, देखिए कैसा जमाना आ गया. Okay, so this kind of behavior, this kind of things, these kind of things are looked down upon. Okay, so guys, are you clear? All the 5 fundamental principles of professional ethics are clear to you? So quickly we will repeat. Principle 1 is integrity, second is objectivity, third is professional competence and due care, fourth is confidentiality, fifth is professional behavior. Remember their names and understand what do these denote. आपको ये भी आ सकता है कि what do you mean by integrity? So then you have to write all these 3-4 lines which are written in your module. Okay. So clear? Yes, Krishna, Bhumika, all of you are saying clear. So at this stage, students will be taking a short break of 10 minutes. So see you after 10 minutes. So break of 10 minutes. Break of 10 minutes. So there is a break of 10 minutes. Welcome back, guys. So, guys, now we see what is there in your module. So, integrity. So, it states that integrity requires auditor to be straightforward and honest in all professional and business relationships. It implies what? Fair dealing and truthfulness. And he shall not be associated, means the auditor shall not be associated with what? With reports. Yes, Darshan, thank you for the compliment. If you liked, he shall not be associated with reports, returns, communications, or other information which he believes contain a materially false or misleading statement, which he knows that this statement is false. He shall never be associated with those statements or contain statements or information provided recklessly. It means the information is provided, the statement is such that uh, information is provided recklessly. Recklessly means which has been prepared with carelessness, not carefully, or omits required information where such omission could be misleading. This I have already told you, already explained. ना तो वो उन चीजों के साथ एसोसिएट होगा जो कि विच ही नोज दीज आर रॉन्ग और विच हैव बीन नॉट बीन प्रिपेयर्ड केयरफुली और which omits required information which make them misleading. Okay. Objectivity means that he would be free from bias, conflict of interest, and undue influence from others. And third, what is a third? Professional competence and due care. He shall perform all his work with knowledge and care. Okay, after analyzing all things in accordance with technical standards, professional and technical standards. Okay. So diligence includes responsibility to act carefully, thoroughly, and on timely basis. Okay, सारे aspects consider करके. Confidentiality, very simple, already explained, and professional behavior, I have already explained. So there is another thing, guys, which you have studied in the definition of auditing. What was that? It was independence. The auditor is he is an independent auditor. He is not subject to external influences. Okay. But you have to remember that independence is not one of the 5 fundamental principles. 5 fundamental principles वही है 5. Integrity, objectivity, professional competence and due care, confidentiality and professional behavior. Okay. So about independence, we would be studying in a little bit from now what is independence. Okay. So I am coming to the independence right now after in a few minutes. Oh, yes. What is independence, guys? So we had touched this aspect a day before yesterday also. So students, there are two aspects of independence. There are two aspects of independence. These are interrelated. Now, what are these two aspects? These two aspects are independence of mind and independence of in appearance. Now, इसका क्या मतलब है, students? We will come to the module later on. So first of all, we understand what is the meaning of independence of mind and independence in appearance? So independence, you are able to see the whiteboard, guys? Independence in mind and second is independence in appearance. Independence of mind and independence of appearance. So first of all, we'll see what is independence of mind. So independence of mind, guys, means when the person, the concerned person has this attitude that he would not be influenced from others. He he decides whatever may be the rule state, whether rule state it or not expressly, he would always maintain an independent attitude. He would take decisions based upon objective criteria without any bias, conflict of interest, or pulls and pressures. So this is independence of mind. And what is independence in appearance? Independence in appearance means that to third parties also the person should look to be independent. Say, although I have a state of mind that I am independent, but other parties, users or other persons, say, who are those of who are seeing me or who are judging me by my conduct, by my actions, whether they think that I am independent or not. So this means independence in appearance. This means independence in appearance. That an auditor should not only be independent in mind, this is compulsory. He has to keep an attitude of independent mind. Simultaneously, he has also looked to be independent to other persons, to third parties. He has looked to be independent because why that is important? Say, guys, if somebody has a perception, if they think that Mr. Ashish Bahal is not independent, so would they be able to repose trust in the financial statements being signed by me? Would they? Answer it. If third person say, think, due to my actions, due to my conduct, if they think that I am not an independent person, then would they be able to repose trust in the financial statements of the company which are signed by me? The answer is resounding no. ऐसा नहीं होगा. They would not be able to repose trust. Okay. So like I give you an example. So let us make it more clear with the help of an example. I think you have understood it, but even then I'll give you an example. Say, guys, that there is Mr. X. He is the auditor of a company. Okay. And the company, say, is launching some new product. Okay. There is big media event for launch of the product which is being advertised, and the company asks the auditor to be associated with all these media blitzkrieg. Okay, they say that we are going to make 50 press conferences, 50 PCs, and the company requests the auditor to be associated with these media events. Okay, be present there and speak few words, speak few good words about the company. So what do you think? How do third parties, how say, if I am user of that financial statements, would I be able to repose trust in those financial statements signed by that Mr. X? No, because although Mr. X may be independent, but he does not appear to look independent to me. Because why? Because of my actions, because of my conduct. Is that clear? So that is what we mean by independence in appearance. Is that clear to guys? Yes, Bhumika, Love Vyas. Is the concept clear to you? Independence in mind and independence in appearance. Is that clear to you? Is that clear to you by means of the example which I have given? Yes, guys. Yes, you are saying right, Mohit. No, because he will be in promotion. It will not look independent for the auditor. So therefore, we say that independence, the concept of independence, it has got two faces, two facets. One is independence in mind and another is independence in appearance. Okay. So Bhumika, I am trying to explain the things to you by means of an example. Say if the company asks the auditor to say so. Okay. Now if the auditor in fact says these things, then his independence is in danger. Because why? Because third parties would not recognize him as an independent person. Okay. So now we come to another topic related to independence. That is threats to independence. Now students, ये जितनी भी threats हैं, आपको इनके नाम याद करने हैं और इनका मतलब समझना है, और फिर इनको, इनका मतलब क्या है इनका, वो आपको याद भी करना है। बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है। क्वेश्चंस कई बार आता है एग्जाम में, आ चुका है, आगे भी आते रहेंगे, आते रहने चाहिए। ओके। सो थ्रेट्स टू इंडिपेंडेंस, सॉरी ऑफ नहीं, थ्रेट्स टू इंडिपेंडेंस। थ्रेट्स का क्या मतलब है? थ्रेट्स टू इंडिपेंडेंस मींस व्हेन इंडिपेंडेंस इज इन डेंजर, जब इंडिपेंडेंस खतरे में है। Okay, threat means when something is endangering me, when something is endangering my independence. So there are five kind of threats. There are five kinds of threats to independence of auditor. Okay, so ये threats हैं students. Self interest threats. Second is self review threats. Third is advocacy threats. Sudhanshu will be coming to this concept you are writing just after this. Advocacy threats, and fourth is familiarity threats, and fifth is intimidation threats. सो स्टूडेंट्स, पांचों थ्रेड्स के नाम आपको याद होने चाहिए. यू वुड इनका आपको मतलब समझ होना चाहिए कि क्या मतलब है. ओके. और सो डिस्टिंक्शन क्या है ये भी पता होना चाहिए. कभी आपको पेपर में देयर इज सम क्वेश्चन एंड यू वुड बी asked to say which kind of threat is involved in this situation. Okay, so this is a very important topic. So self interest threats. So what are self interest threats students? Self interest threat का क्या मतलब है? Self interest threats means those threats when self interest of the auditor is endangered. सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट, जैसे कि उसके नाम से ही पता चल रहा है, when those threats where self interest of the auditor is involved. कैसे? Say if the auditor holds some shares in a company. Says he holds shares in a company, so then his self interest is involved, because making an investment in the company by means of shares means that he is interested in financial good financial outcomes, financial well-being of the company. He would not be in a position to express his independent opinion. Why? Because he holds the shares and self-interest is involved. His self-interest would be in danger. So these kind of threats are called self-interest threat. That is why, guys, you would be reading when you would be studying your chapter on company audit. There is provision in Companies Act 2013 by under which the auditor of a company is not allowed to hold shares of which he is the auditor. Okay. So self-interest threats when he holds some shares in a company, or say the auditor assume he has taken loan from a company. He has taken loan from the company. He is liable to pay money back to the company. So would he be able to give independent opinion? No, because वो तो कंपनी का पहले से कर्जदार है. He has already borrowed money from the company. Then how he would be able to give an independent opinion? So self-interest threat is involved. ठीक है. Yes, there is a limit under Companies Act of up to 5 lakhs. No, the limit relates to borrowing. Muhammad Aslam. For shares, he cannot hold shares. Okay. Or say the auditor says he is dependent upon largely on the fees of one single client. Okay. Say he is dependent upon the fees of a single client. Then what would happen? He would always be under the fear The auditor would always be under the fear that if he loses the client, then his major business would be gone. So in that case also, self-interest threat is involved. So in that case also, self-interest threat is involved. Self-interest threat is involved. So जब भी कोई threat involve होती है students, so what the auditor has to do when threat is involved, then he would see whether threat is involved or not. If threat is involved, then he would try to reduce it to the acceptable level. Okay, so what might be permissible under law, he would try to reduce it. And if he is not able to ward off the threat, then he has no option but to withdraw. Okay, and to desist from the task. Clear? So second type of threat is, say, self-review threat. So what is self-review threat? Self-review threat is means where, say, the on work of auditor is being reviewed. On work of services given by him is being reviewed. Say one auditor, he was, say, internal auditor of the company earlier. Okay, and then he is also providing, he is now appointed statutory auditor also. Then then there would be conflict of interest. He might be engaged in reviewing some of the services which have been provided by him. He would be his own reviewer. So how one can review one's own work? वो तो किसी दूसरे को review करना है ना. Suppose if I am writing something, then obviously it has to be reviewed by somebody else. How do that has to be, the auditor has provided management services or, say, internal audit services, and during his stint as statutory auditor, he would be, the nature of work is such that the services he performed, these would also be reviewed. Okay, so then he would not be in a position to give opinion against him. Okay, so these kind of threats are called self-review threats. Okay. Now we come to another threat, which is sorry, advocacy threat. एडवोकेसी थ्रेट मींस, एडवोकेसी का स्टूडेंट्स ये मतलब नहीं है कि एडवोकेट मींस आप इसको वकील से मतलब लगा ले, लीगल से. एडवोकेसी मींस कि दूसरे लोगों को ये लगता है कि जो ऑडिटर है वो क्लाइंट का फेवर कर रहा है. जो मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया, अभी एग्जांपल दिया, दैट वाज एन एडवोकेसी थ्रेट. आप उसी से समझ लीजिए कि द ऑडिटर है, कंपनी नया प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च कर रही है, वो ऑडिटर से कंपनी विजिबली कंपनी के बारे में बहुत फेवरेबल ओपिनियन दे रहा है, टीवी पे जाके, मीडिया में, और प्रोडक्ट लॉन्चिंग में कई जगह कंपनी के साथ है. तो व्हाट द मैसेज वुड गो अराउंड. ओके, so it is an advocacy threat. So the auditor would not be associated with these kind of things, would not be associated with such things, which 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 lead to an picture in the mind of in the mind of general public that the auditor is championing the cause of the company. Advocacy threat means that auditor is promoting that company, he is championing the cause of that company. So these kind of threats are known as advocacy threats. Clear, guys? Now we come to fourth threat, that is familiarity threat. Familiarity threat. So what is familiarity threat? Familiarity threat means when say the auditor becomes too familiar with the company, with the type of work, with the staff, with the persons. Say मैं कई साल से कंपनी का ऑडिट कर रहा हूं, so then I would become too familiar. So I would not be in a position to take an independent view. My view, there is a chance of bias creeping in my view. Because I know that I know all the working of the company, I know the staff, I know the management. Okay, so my independence is likely to be compromised. That is why, students, there is a that also you would read when you would be studying your chapter on company audit. There is a provision in Companies Act under section 139 where auditors in certain class of companies, not in all companies, but in certain class of companies, say in listed companies, they are rotated compulsorily after a certain period of time, say after 5 years. There is a compulsory rotation कि आप 5 साल से ज्यादा continuously उस कंपनी में ऑडिटर नहीं रह सकते. Why? इसका क्या रीजन है? Why this provision has been made? Yes, students, tell me why this provision has been made. This provision has been made in Companies Act to ward off, to remove familiarity threats. ये familiarity threats को कि ऑडिटर बहुत ज्यादा फेमिलियर ना हो जाए और उसकी इंडिपेंडेंस को खतरा ना हो, इसलिए ये प्रोविजन है. ओके, so clear guys, is that clear? And fifth type of threat is intimidation threat. Now intimidation threat क्या है? इंटिमिडेशन थ्रेट, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ इंटिमिडेशन गाइस? इंटिमिडेट करना, किसी को डराना. इंटिमिडेट मीन्स टू पुट फियर इन वंस माइंड. डराना, धमकाना. से if the auditor is not willing to give a favorable opinion, then say we will reduce your fees. Okay, we will not appoint you again. Okay, we will take you in litigation. So all these kind of threats, these are known as intimidation threat. Okay, Janice Angel, you are saying can you repeat advocacy threat? Yes, I have given Janice Angel Mary, I have given example of advocacy threat also. You try to understand this from the example. Like say a company is trying to launch a new product and it asks the auditor to be to be associated with all the media events it is planning, okay, and to say favorable things about the company, about the product. So what impression would go around in the mind of general public? Would they consider the auditor to be an independent person? No, they will not consider. So this kind of threat where the auditor is seen to be promoting a company, is advocating a company, is championing the cause of a company, is known as advocacy threat. That the auditor is seen in the eyes of general public that he is promoting the cause of the company, या वो company के बहुत favor कर रहा है, he is promoting the cause of the company. So the users might please tell Mohammed, you are saying please tell to scroll back the video. I am not able to get what you are trying to say. So this is intimidation threat. Yes. Okay. You are asking Mary to see the video. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So all the 5 threats are broadly clear to you. So what are safeguards to independence? So safeguards mean when auditor identifies a threat, then he has to put safeguards that my independence is not threatened. And if he can, by applying those safeguards, if he can reduce the threats to acceptable level, then it's fine enough. Otherwise, he would desist from the task. Okay. So before we see what is there in your module, uh, let us finish one more topic, which is professional skepticism. Now, this is another topic, guys, and term which would keep occurring in your module again and again, again and again. In all chapters, this term would be used. So be clear कि प्रोफेशनल स्केप्टिसिज्म का क्या मतलब है. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ प्रोफेशनल स्केप्टिसिज्म? So before coming to the textbook definition, guys, understand what do you mean by professional skepticism. Professional skepticism means an attitude of being alert to the circumstances that there could be misstatements. So guys, there is a difference. You understand that we had learned yesterday that auditor, day before yesterday, that auditor is not an investigator. Although he is not an investigator, but he has to keep that attitude of professional skepticism. Like I would use a term, by maintaining such an attitude, the auditor develops a sense, auditor's hunch. It is not a textbook term, rather it is my term, you can say. Yes, love Vyas, to not believe everything blindly, be alert. Yes. So the auditor, by applying the procedures, he has to maintain a critical attitude कि भैया कोई कागज आपके सामने आ गया है, द कंपनी इज गिविंग यू सम डॉक्यूमेंट, आप उसको कोरिलेट तो करके देखें कि वो कहाँ पे टैली हो रहा है, रिकंसाइल हो रहा है. यू डू नॉट एक्सेप्ट इट ब्लाइंडली. यू हैव एन एटीट्यूड ऑफ क्वेश्चनिंग माइंड. You need to ask logical questions कि ये आपकी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में तो यहाँ आ रहा है, बुक्स में ये चीज है, बताइए, ये मेरे को समझाइए कैसे है. इट डजंट मीन दैट देयर इज ए फ्रॉड. Always there is a fraud, but it has to be justified to you logically. Okay, questioning mind. Yes, Mohit, hunch means a sense, auditor's hunch, a sense कि हाँ भाई आपने इतना काम किया है, इतनी नॉलेज है आपको, इतना एक्सपीरियंस है, सो ओवर ए टाइम यू गेट ए हंच, आपको पता है कि यहाँ पे कुछ गड़बड़ हो सकती है, कि ये मेरे को कुछ ठीक नहीं लग रहा, दैट सेंस. So I am trying to use it in that way. It is not a textbook or term or in your syllabus. It is a general thing which I am trying to explain to you. Okay. And guys, you have to understand that this attitude of professional skepticism, this has to be maintained throughout the audit, throughout the audit, right from the planning to performance to expression of opinion, forming of opinion, expression of opinion in audit report. It runs through. It runs through right from the planning. जब से आप say you accepted the offer of an appointment as an auditor of an organization, of an entity, then you have to keep this attitude of professional skepticism, of seeing the things critically, of looking the things critically. So when you plan the audit, you would see कि आपको क्या क्या plan करना है. You have to identify those risks where there are greater chances of misstatements due to errors and frauds. So you would draw up your planning in that way. So when you apply the audit procedures which you would be learning, then you will see which procedures need to be applied. You need to have a questioning mind. You should have a critical approach. And when you will obtain audit evidence, then you have to also critically evaluate the evidence. You have to seen the things critically by analyzing this. That is why I say that auditing is a highly analytical subject, not only theoretically but practically also. So guys, पिछली क्लास में भी हमने पढ़ा था कि ऑडिटिंग की जो नेचर है वो इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी है. इट इज एन इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी नेचर. सो जो चीज इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी होती है स्टूडेंट्स, वो हमेशा एनालिटिकल होती है. इट इज ऑलवेज एनालिटिकल टू कोरिलेट वन थिंग विद अनदर. Okay, that is why in auditing students, for your paper purpose, you have to understand the things, remember and apply those things. Okay. So is that clear? The concept of professional skepticism, independence and threats to independence? Or you want me to go through your module also? Yes, guys. You want me to go through your module also? Yes. So this was the independence. This we have already done. And these were threats. So one was self-interest threat, which occur when an auditing firm, its partner or associate could benefit from a financial interest in the audit client. It means when his own self-interest is involved. Okay, like direct financial interest of holding shares, financial interest in client. So financial interest in client कैसे hold गया? अगर मेरी कोई कंपनी में इन्वेस्टमेंट है. Okay, loan or guarantee to or from the concerned client, already explained. Undue dependence on the client fees, like if I am dependent on the fees of one client, single client, say my total fees are say of X amount, and total yearly fees are of X amount, and say 50-60% are coming from one client, then would I be independent? No, my independence would be impaired, because I would always be having fear of losing that client. Okay, self review threats when his review of his own work is involved. Okay, ethics and moral are related. Advocacy threat, I have already explained thrice. When the auditor is seen, when the auditor promotes or is perceived to promote a client's opinion, where people may believe that auditor is not independent, that he is championing the cause of the company. Okay, in such situations, auditor can be perceived as backing and championing the cause of client, and it may lead to belief that auditor is not acting and working objectively. Okay, familiarity threats are all when the auditor becomes too familiar. Okay, so some examples are given, like close relative of the audit team working in a senior position in the client company, or the auditor is auditing for many number of years. In intimidation threat, I have already told you of penalizing the auditor, of putting fear. Okay, so now let us quickly go to the correct incorrect type of questions. Are you ready, guys? Is the screen visible to you? Correct incorrect type? Is the screen visible to you? Yes, guys. Drop mail, guys. Are you able to see? So guys, आपके पेपर में the first question is a compulsory question in which uh, some statements are given, and you have to tell whether these statement is correct or incorrect. But the catch here is that you have not only to tell. I am talking about descriptive paper, 70 marks paper. I am not talking about MCQs and case studies. Okay, so that question number one, you have not only to write whether this statement is true or false, correct or incorrect, but also you have to write reason for it. Say if you simply write that it is correct, even though answer may be correct, you are not going to get any credit. You would be getting 0 marks. Okay, so when you are also writing here, you are giving me the answer also. Do state what is your reason. Whatever, one line, 4 words, 5 words. But in exam, you have to write 1-2 lines. You have to state this is a 2-mark question, and say 7 statements or whatever it is, 7 or 8 statements you have to answer. So you have to state why, whether this statement is correct or incorrect, and why it is so. You have to give the proper reasoning also. The reasoning is very important. So first is, so when those of you who are live, those of you who are answering, I think many of you have left out. Probably you find the subject too boring, or you have found the way of, you have not found the way of teaching too comfortable. So question number one, auditor can eliminate audit risk completely. Also write which question you are answering and answer sequentially. Auditor can eliminate audit risk completely. Is it true or false? Yes. Hira, Gohil, Mohit Saini, yes, all of you. Darshan, Yashika, Muhammad Aslam. Yes. You have written correctly that this statement is false. This is incorrect. So you would, how you would write the answer in paper? You would say the statement is incorrect because audit risk cannot be eliminated completely. It cannot be reduced to zero. It can, however, be reduced, but it cannot be eliminated. So there is a difference between two words, reduce and eliminate. Eliminate means बिल्कुल खत्म कर देना, zero. Reduce मतलब कम करना. So audit risk cannot be, auditor can eliminate audit risk completely. It is a false statement. It cannot be eliminated completely. It can be reduced only. Okay. So number 2. One of the important benefits of audit is that it safeguards interests of persons associated with management of an entity. Question number 2. So guys, answer sequentially, serial wise. Otherwise, it will not be possible for me to check. Say you are directly answering question number 4 or 5. First answer second. So there should be sequence. One of the important benefits of audit is that it safeguards interests of persons associated with management of entity. Now this point is not clear to you guys, I think. Mariam, Tanzeem and Bhumika, both of you have answered it wrongly. Why? आप इस स्टेटमेंट को ध्यान से पढ़िए जरा. ऑडिट का एक बेनिफिट है कि वो जो लोग मैनेजमेंट के साथ एसोसिएटेड हैं उनके इंटरेस्ट सेफगार्ड करती है. दिस स्टेटमेंट इज फॉल्स. उनके थोड़ा सेफगार्ड करती है. जो लोग एसोसिएटेड नहीं भी हैं उनके इंटरेस्ट सेफगार्ड करती है. ऑफ जनरल पीपल, ऑफ जनरल पब्लिक, ऑफ जनरल यूजर्स. मैनेजमेंट तो अपने इंटरेस्ट खुद ही सेफगार्ड करती है. तो इंडिपेंडेंट ऑडिटर का सबसे बड़ा बेनिफिट ही यही है. द बेसिक एडवांटेज इज दैट इट सेफगार्ड्स द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ पर्संस हु आर नॉट एसोसिएटेड विद मैनेजमेंट. ओके, जो कि मैनेजमेंट से जुड़े हुए नहीं है उनके इंटरेस्ट सेफगार्ड करती है. अगर मैनेजमेंट से जुड़े हुए लोगों के इंटरेस्ट सेफगार्ड करती तो फिर तो ऑडिट की जरूरत ही क्या है. Is that clear to you, Mariam and Bhumika? Yes. Have you understood? Mariam, Bhumika, yes. Ritesh Agarwal, you have answered correctly. False. Preetham, this is not correct statement. This is incorrect. This is incorrect. It is other than management. Yes. Muhammad Aslam, you are right. It is other than management. Preetham, this is not correct. Number 2 is not correct. It is false. It is one of the basic advantages of an audit. What? That it safeguards interests of persons associated with, or persons other than associated with, not associated with management. Okay. Question number 3. Audit provides limited assurance. Now whether this statement is correct or incorrect, tell. Question number 3. Those of you who are answering, please take care not to press your mail button too hard, guys. I am, for the same answer, I am getting 20 mails. Please take care in future, Tushar. Audit provides limited assurance. So this statement is also false. I have repeated n number of times that audit provides reasonable assurance. So you would write. So guys, look, there are two ways of answering this question and both these answers would be correct. Say one way is writing is that this that audit provides reasonable assurance. This statement is incorrect because audit provides reasonable assurance. Another way could be you can write that this statement is incorrect. Review provides limited assurance. This is also a right way of answering. Because what provides limited assurance? Review. Okay. Third is also false. Love Vyas, why you are writing third is true भैया? हम स्टार्टिंग से कह रहे हैं ऑडिट का ऑब्जेक्टिव यही है एसए 200 में कि ऑडिटर ऑब्टेन्स रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस. ये टर्म अपने दिमाग में बिठा लो स्टूडेंट्स, गाइस, दिस टर्म ये आपने दिमाग में बिठा लो, रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस, रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस. फोर्थ, स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग mainly deal with responsibilities of auditors. Yes, tell me whether this is correct or incorrect. Standards on auditing deal mainly with responsibilities of auditors. Tell guys whether this is correct or incorrect. This is correct. Guys, how you are writing it is false. Mainly deal with responsibilities of auditor. Standards on auditing यही बताते हैं कि डिफरेंट सिचुएशंस में ऑडिटर की क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हैं, उसका क्या, उसको कैसे ऑडिट परफॉर्म करना है, क्या ऑडिट प्रोसीजर्स हैं इस सिचुएशन में, हाउ ही हैज टू डील विद, क्या ऑडिट प्रोसीजर्स, स्टैंडर्ड ऑडिट प्रोसीजर्स क्या कहते हैं इस बारे में. तो स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑन ऑडिटिंग डील विद द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज ऑफ ऑडिटर. ओके. एंड फिफ्थ, एसर्शंस. स्टूडेंट्स ये भूल गए आप टर्म, ये याद है आपको? एसर्शंस मैंने आपको फर्स्ट लेक्चर में 2-3 एग्जांपल देके बताया था. एसर्शंस, आई होप कि आपको टर्म याद है. एसर्शंस referred to representations by auditor to consider potential misstatements that may occur. So बताइए. These questions have already been uploaded. You can see, Darshan, these questions have already been uploaded on BOS portal. You can see from there. Yes. This statement is false. Many of you are writing correctly. Tushar, you are also correct. Maria is also correct. Darshan is also correct. So assertions, why it is false? You have to write this statement is incorrect because assertions refer to representations by management. Assertions होते ही बिलीफ मैनेजमेंट के हैं, ऑडिटर तो उनको वेरीफाई करता है. Assertions are beliefs by the management, representations by management. These are not representations by auditor to consider potential misstatements. Okay. So is it clear? So is that clear? So guys, how was today's session? I think you must have gained some elementary understanding of about standards on auditing, about difference between various terms, between audit and review, between historical financial information and prospective financial information. You must have gained a fair understanding of the concept of independence. What do we mean by threats to independence? What are 5 kind of threats? What are the 5 fundamental principles of professional ethics in ISBA code? That is integrity, objectivity, professional competence and due care, confidentiality and professional behavior. And what is meant by professional skepticism, concept of being alert, attitude of questioning mind, of of being of being maintaining a attitude of seeing the things in seeing the things critically, of being awake, of not sleeping, okay, of a diligent attitude. So all these things. So guys, जो आपने आज समझा, जो आपने आज पढ़ा सर, गाइस, वो आपको यू हैव टू बिल्ड अपॉन दीज स्टूडेंट्स फ्रेंड्स, वो आपको यू हैव टू बिल्ड अपॉन दिस से आपने यू हैव अटेंडेड द क्लास एंड नाउ यू से ओके समझ आ गया, नाउ वी आर वेरी कंफर्टेबल, हमें सब कुछ समझ आ गया। लेकिन जब तक आप you would not study it from your module, remember the things, learn the things, apply the things, see the back exercises, solve previous year questions, you would not be able to write in the exams. So this is the way of preparing. This is how you should proceed for preparing in your exams. Otherwise, you see the lectures and you watch the lectures and you do not study, you forget. You forget. Okay. So this way you should try to prepare. Okay. So that's for all today. Okay. Okay. Good night. Good night, guys.